It's Tuesday, September 26th. Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update. New infections for COVID-19 soared past the 200 mark for the first time ever, and the death toll has moved to 69. The patient was a 63-year-old Barbadian who passed away at Harrison Point facility today. He was unvaccinated. Meanwhile, a total of 217 cases were confirmed as positive by the Barbados Santos Public Health Laboratory from the 2,382 tests. The new cases comprise 44 people who are under the age of 18, and the other 173 are 18 years and older. There are 1,093 patients in isolation. Overall, Barbados has recorded 7,981 confirmed cases, and just over 38% of the population is fully vaccinated. Prime Minister Mottley continues to keep a close eye on the COVID-19 surge, and she's banking on more people stepping forward to be vaccinated. She's already heartened by the increase in numbers opting to get the jab.
When you look at the numbers, the truth is that we are already at a stage where 58% of those eligible to take the vaccine have taken it. And why do I say so? There is no vaccine that can be used by anybody from being a baby to 12 years old now, just to the point of becoming 12. There's no vaccine. But yet you have about 40-something thousand Barbadians in that category. So when you subtract that from our total, you begin to see that the numbers, the 132,000 people who have taken the vaccine, when taken as a percentage of the eligible population, is in fact far more, and is almost 6 in every 10 Barbadians that have already taken it who are over the age of 12. That is a significant achievement for this country, and while we are not yet where we want to be, we are significantly along the road, and we have a gap that we must close, and I'm satisfied that over the course of the next few weeks, we will close that gap.
In other news, lawmakers today engaged in robust debate on the Constitution Amendment Bill 2021 as the country moves toward becoming a republic by the end of November. Opposition leader Bishop Joseph Atherley declared his support for the change, but questioned the legality of the move.
If it is that the Barbados Parliament can lawfully repeal or revoke an order in council in the British Parliament, Mr. Speaker, and the Barbados Parliament repeals that order in council in the UK Parliament, and the Constitution of Barbados was a schedule to that order, then the question has to be addressed to settle any doubts in the minds of people. On what basis then does the Constitution stand? Mr. Speaker, you're a lawyer. The Constitution is an attachment, a schedule, an appendix to an order in council. If you repeal and revoke the order, on what basis does the Constitution stand alone?
Bishop Atherley also took issue with the timing of the move, insisting it's wrong.
I have to say, and I've said this to the Honourable Prime Minister, and I've said it publicly, I support the move to republic. I support the nomination when it comes in the appropriate format and time. But I believe very strongly that we are doing this at the wrong time, and that the process leaves much to be desired. I believe that there are many out there who are of the view that we're not getting this right when it comes to the process. The old Bajan expression of putting the cart before the horse. In my view, with respect to this, the cart is not even in the same yard as a horse. And I think that that should give us pause for thought.
In response, leader of government business Santia Bradshaw dismissed Atherley's line of questioning and suggested that there will never be a right time to make the change to complete the cycle of independence.
So it is not fair, sir, to have to listen to the honourable member behave as though, while he supports it, all is wrong with our timing, as if he got a time put down, sir. We don't have a time put down. And whether it is improvements in our healthcare or our education or in our community centers, honourable members on this side are working not just for today, but to plan and to strategize for tomorrow as well. Because we don't believe that we will always be in a pandemic. We don't believe that the tide is always going to be against us. We don't believe that the population will not always be vaccinated. We've set targets, sir. Even when it seems as though we've been losing the battle, we've set targets because we want our children back into school. And when they get back to school, we want to be able to teach them that they can become the head of state of this country, Barbados.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional happenings, Vincentian Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez says a memorandum given to members of boards of statutory corporations and other state-owned entities will require all frontline workers to take the COVID-19 vaccine. More in this report from SVG News.
I drafted a letter, a memorandum, to the chairperson and members of the boards of all statutory enterprises and private and state-owned companies and public enterprises generally, that they're also being given a choice to be vaccinated by the 15th of October or demit their offices, so that, to take their first vaccine by then, if they haven't taken it yet. I know many of them have. The cabinet, as you know, from the very beginning, we are all vaccinated in the cabinet. And I don't see how we could have the cabinet vaccinated and we are asking frontline workers, for instance, in the port and the airports, to be vaccinated, and then the people who are running these statutory enterprises or public companies not to be vaccinated.
On the international front, Greta Thunberg and fellow youth campaigners struck a skeptical tone for this week's climate talks in Italy, saying much has been promised but little has been done to tackle global warming in almost 3 decades since the landmark Earth Summit. More in this report from Reuters TV.
This is not about some expensive, politically correct green act of bunny hugging or blah, blah, blah. Build back better, blah, blah, blah. Green economy, blah, blah, blah. Net zero by 2050, blah, blah, blah. Net zero, blah, blah, blah. Climate neutral, blah, blah, blah. This is all we hear from our so-called leaders. Words that sound great, but so far has led to no action. Our hopes and dreams drown in their empty words and promises. Of course, we need constructive dialogue, but they've now had 30 years of blah, 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 and where has that led us? What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
That's news, but for the very latest, you can visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.